I fucked my fingers up so much this week. The Touch ID on my phone doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I've had that problem as well.
First world problems.
Well, yes, absolutely.
I had to do enough hard work, enough physical labour that I know my fingerprints aren't the same as they were a week ago.
My
so
fingerprints
I can't log into my phone.
My fingerprints disappeared when I had hand, foot and mouth disease from my bloody child, bringing it back from bloody nursery.
I lost bits of my fingerprints to playing bass. So,
yes.
Yeah, I probably don't have the same fingerprints I did have 5 years ago. All that sliding on bass strings.
So welcome to the biology of the Snoo Crew, ladies and gents. Thankfully, we're only talking fingers so far.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for elbows. Do you want to do elbows next week?
I don't know. Do we go that far up, or do we go to wrists?
Do forearms and wrists.
Oh,
Yeah.
do we have to start this podcast with terrible, terrible dad jokes?
What? It's not a terrible dad joke. I'll just cut you out, you bastard.
He insulted my joke. Cut. He says, ha ha. He made a slur about my joke. Cut that out.
Exactly.
Make my joke twice as loud.
You remember who's doing the editing around here. Hey. Right. This is our review show, ladies and gents.
Yeah, review with the crew.
We do have another show, of course, the Snooze Button, which is a TV, movie, pop culture news show. Both of these shows are released every week. Feel free to go and check out the back catalogue and stuff. And
Download and listen. Download and listen. Download and listen.
Subliminal messaging.
I think there's been a rape up there. Some accusations will be false.
Oh, I haven't heard that or seen that episode in such a long time.
It's the best episode of TV ever made.
What is it? The Office, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one, the training one.
Within context of the episode, it's hilarious.
Okay.
Just shouting that at someone in the street is probably going to get you in a lot of trouble. But
yeah,
how's it go, Ross?
I'll find.
I feel like you've probably
I'll send
done
you
that.
the clip. You can put it on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Review show.
Yeah.
Let's go. Music. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Review with the Crew. Did we introduce ourselves in the last show properly? I don't know if we did.
I don't know. I think it matters. Everyone knows who we are by now.
It's Adam Gattrell, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hello.
And it's Ross Murphy.
Hello.
And it's me, Chris Quinton. Hello. So, yeah. No listener letters or anything like that to tuck into. So
no reviews from anyone. Maybe
leave us a review on iTunes. We haven't had an iTunes review for ages.
Yeah,
that's true.
If you listen, do it. Leave us a review of us.
We could do with some more YouTube subscribers as well. Even if you're
irrelevant.
not gonna.
Don't.
Even if you're not. Well, it would be nice because if we get up to 100 subscribers, then we can customise our. What's it called? URL.
Yeah.
So yeah,
help us out.
That would be helpful. Even if you're not going to listen to us on YouTube. If you could go and subscribe, it'd be very, very helpful.
And while you're there, subscribe to Adam Gattrell Arts, because that'll help me out as well.
Oh, and Chris Q's music.
There we go.
Well. I don't think that's the name of my channel. You can find it linked on our Facebook page. Jesus. So professional, such a pro.
Right, reviews.
Go on, Adam, what have you been watching?
On Saturday night, my girlfriend's quite into the old TV drama, like cop detective things and missing people stuff. I've watched some of the American ones with her. Some of them are okay. Some of them are a bit trashy. Some of them, like Law and Order, annoys the shit out of me because they always have the whole thing leading up to the court case, and then they show half of the court case, and then the episode ends, and you never get to see the verdict.
Oh, ever?
No.
Ever?
No, because it's not about the verdict. It's about the leading up to the court case and something that happens during the court case to do with what they've done. But they never give you the fucking.
That is annoying.
Yeah, really annoying. But it's actually quite a good show.
Even you talking about it is frustrating me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I still end up watching it with her and quite enjoying it. And then I get to the end of the episode and go, oh, for fuck's sake, they're not going to tell me, are they? Every time you catch me out by being quite a good show and then not giving me an answer. But yeah. Anyway, so Netflix, a show popped up. I was doing the washing up. She went, do you want to watch this while we have dinner? And I was like, what's that? And she went, it's called Safe, and showed me the phone app with the picture. And I was like, yeah, right, give it a go. And we ended up watching all 8 episodes.
What was it called? Sorry, this one?
Safe. Yeah.
So it's the one with the guy from
Dexter.
Dexter, that's the one.
It's a Studio Canal and Netflix combination.
What's his name?
Michael C. Hall.
That's the one.
Yeah, so it's a Studio Canal and Netflix like duo. It's like a Netflix original, but done with Studio Canal. A lot of British, kind of well-known British drama.
Is he
people in
British
it.
or is he American?
I thought he was British because his accent in it.
Yeah.
Then we looked him up, and he's proper American.
I remember when we spoke about the trailer. That came up in conversation.
Yeah,
I said he was putting on a very good English accent, and he said, "Isn't he English?"
Very good at an English accent.
Right.
Like I've not seen an American pull off an English accent that well before. In
Cool.
something. I was quite shocked.
Well, I was very convinced by the trailer.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So yeah.
So when I explained the trailer to you, you were kind of like, "Oh fuck that," because we've had this story a million times before.
Yeah,
but you
girlfriend wanted to watch it, so I watched it.
you caned all 8 episodes at once as well.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not amazing. There's some twists and turns, and the storyline's quite good. There are a couple of moments of some abysmal acting from a couple of people in it.
Right.
Like, just either really bad dialogue that they should have changed but didn't, or just some really bad extras acting giving lines. Like one guy that appears and goes, "Oh, how did you get there?"
Right.
And you're like, wow, okay,
That's wooden.
You're really out of place. There's certain bits in the storyline that, because it's obviously set as if it's now in a normal British town, in a gated community, there's a couple of things that happen with regards to like police and stuff where I just thought, that doesn't make sense to why that's happening. Like, it just seems really out of, like, you know, it's not realistic. But as the thing goes on, it kind of makes sense, some of that.
Okay.
And I kind of can forgive it for that. But yeah, it's I'd say if you like your sort of TV drama mysteries, or your cop shows, or your detective drama shows, or a missing person show, it's worth a watch.
Okay.
If they did a second series or another series with the same sort of style to it, I probably wouldn't watch it. I only watched it because the girlfriend's into that and she wanted to watch it, and it was enjoyable. But yeah, I probably wouldn't go out of my way to watch another one.
Did you see 7 Seconds yet?
No.
That's on Netflix as well.
Okay.
If you enjoyed this show, it sounds like you guys would like 7 Seconds.
Okay.
It's like a murder mystery set in an area of New York. What's the bad area of New York, Ross? You might know that.
I don't know. The Bronx.
The Bronxy kind of area, I guess.
Just Hell's Kitchen.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a park where you can sort of see the Statue of Liberty, and this kid is cycling through it and gets hit by a car. The car's driven by a cop. All of his buddies encourage him to cover it up or just drive away.
Sounds exactly like something my girlfriend would be into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the public trying to work out what's happened and stuff, and the district attorney realising and trying to find a case and stuff, and it's good.
Okay. I might point her out that she probably already watched it. She's caned through Sons of Anarchy.
Right. I bloody love that show.
Yeah. I forgot how much I enjoyed it watching it through originally until recently. I've been round hers and she's been watching some episodes, and I just forgot how good it can be at times and how dark it is at times.
Fuck yes.
But yeah, she's like came through the whole lot. I think she's working her way through the last series at the moment. But
that's the darkest.
Yeah.
There's some horrible things.
Yeah. Some really, really, Gemma. Throughout the whole lot, all series is just,
Does she... I can't remember which way around. Is it her that kills the daughter, or the daughter that kills... No, it's her that kills the daughter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stabs her with a knife in the back of the head.
She's a proper bitch.
Is it still on Netflix, or is it gone?
Yeah, it's on there at the moment. Yeah, girlfriend's watching it on Netflix, so yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Irish episodes, and I felt like I should have done.
Oh, well, then they went to Ireland.
Yeah.
I can't remember them, to be honest. So it's
Have a
a
listen
long
to the
time
theme
ago.
tune when they go to
Right.
Ireland.
Oh, did they
It's
change
Irished
it?
up, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's cool. I like the theme tune for
Yeah.
that show, but you're watching on Netflix, so you probably skip it.
Well, yeah, she's watching it. I
Right.
watched it ages ago. I've just seen bits recently when I've been round. And yeah, Last Man on Earth. That's the other thing I've been watching.
Yes, season
And
4 is very good.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I
Jack
can't believe.
Black.
Yeah.
Jack Black is phenomenal. But yeah. Oh, and Kristen Wiig as well.
Yes, yeah. I can't believe they've cancelled it. That's actually
It's really
annoyed
sad.
me. Yeah.
But yes, I started
You said
rewatching
that,
them.
and I'm just never going to watch it now.
Really?
Especially if it's not finished. I hate that when they do that.
Yeah, like it's a shame. Hopefully,
I can't watch. I've never seen Firefly because
Hopefully someone like Netflix-
Watch it. It's amazing.
Hopefully, someone like Netflix or Hulu or someone will pick it up and at least do a final series to finish it.
Maybe.
Because yeah,
Ross, Firefly isn't unfinished.
Yeah, but it sort of is, isn't it? It was
No.
cancelled, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there's a movie that caps it off.
Yeah, and I've seen that.
What, Serenity? Why have you
Yeah.
seen Serenity?
I
and
didn't
not-
realise it was a TV.
yeah.
I didn't
To be
realise it was
honest,
a
I
movie.
watched Serenity,
The TV
and then,
show?
Yeah, I did the same thing. I watched Serenity and not knowing that it was connected to anything, and then was like, well, "What's all this about?" And then someone said, "Oh, it's connected to this thing," and I went back and I watched the first 2 episodes and just thought, "This is so dated. I can't watch this."
Yeah, fair enough.
And I've never gone back.
There are episodes later on in the series that are timeless.
Right.
They're very, very good. But they're going to depend on you knowing the characters
Yeah.
a little bit at least,
Yeah.
I think.
It all seems a bit Han Solo-y in the movie if you haven't seen the rest of it.
Yeah.
Everyone seems like a Han Solo fighting each other, and it just seems a bit confusing.
Fair enough. And the first episode isn't the strongest, I've got to
Right.
say. But yeah. There you are.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That is for me, yeah. There's been other stuff I've watched and other things I've been doing. I've been reading a lot of comics, but
All Happy has
Oh,
been renewed for season 2.
yeah, that's good. First series was beautiful.
There you
Like
go.
some really, really good
I thought you'd like that news.
cinematography. Really, really good cinematography. Yeah, go on then, Ross.
Real quickly, I watched Black Panther.
Go on then, what did you
think?
think?
It's all right.
Is this why you're wearing?
Everyone's heard what we think.
Is this
so-
why you're wearing all black this evening?
No, I'm just in my work clothes.
Okay.
Slash ninja.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. It's a bit of a James Bond film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is very much a James Bond film.
It's a bit slow at the start. Don't think you need to have that fight. I don't think you need to have the fight sequence twice.
You
know,
you mean
know,
with the
they've-
gorilla guy and then with what's his name of the actor? Jamie
Killmonger.
Foxx. Jamie Foxx's character. Jamie Foxx.
Michael B.
No,
Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Sorry.
Edit that out. Casual bit
Hang
of
on.
white people racism there. Well, in your mind's eye, have you got them all in a line and their movies? Like, all right, that's the one from The Matrix. He's the one from Pulp Fiction.
No. Yeah. Well, only in the same way as you would do with any other actor.
You say that, but that's not why, is it?
Well, I don't know. I get Patrick Stewart and The Rock mixed up sometimes. They look quite similar, don't
They're
they?
both fault. Right, okay. Yeah.
Vin Diesel. Who the hell's that? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the movie. It's not fucking amazing like everyone made it out to be.
My missus really did not enjoy it at all. And I got to say, I didn't enjoy it as much as I think other people did.
And
But-
the rhinos aren't as bad as you guys made it out.
Really?
To be.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was
I thought they would be awful.
I thought the rhinos later on in the film, the end scene, they're awful. The bit earlier on, I didn't think they were that bad.
Yeah, I
but
just didn't mind it too much.
I thought they
think
were
they're
as
gonna
bad as
look
the.
dated eventually.
I thought they were as bad as the space horses in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. To
The
be honest.
premise is fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
What do you mean? Which bit of it?
All of it.
What
Like,
a hidden high tech?
A hidden high tech people
Yeah.
who have just stayed hidden away for like.
Yeah, it's comics though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's in the same
But it's
universe
like-
that Thor exists.
True.
But it feels like Thor feels less ridiculous because they're for want of a better phrase aliens, aren't they?
yeah.
They're not gods. They just live
They could just
on a
got
different. They
high
just live
tech,
on another planet.
high tech science that makes them seem like they're magical.
Yeah.
And they are pretty hardcore beings that can be smashed about by the Hulk and still be okay.
But they've done that thing where the bad guy is just a mirror of the good guy.
Yeah, but with this one, you understand his motives, whereas a lot of the other carbon copy bad guys, I don't feel like you do. Like, they're just like carbon copies, whereas his whole upbringing makes sense to why he is the way he is. And he just decides, right, I'm just going to take it all from you.
Like, the worst offender for that's the second Hulk movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where they just have like a grey Hulk.
The Abomination.
And Iron Man's pretty bad for it as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. True enough.
But they do that quite a lot.
That's a standard thing for origin movies, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man.
Yeah. But then I think some of the films
Doctor Strange.
you kind of got to start that way unless you've got something, unless you've got a really good direction to go. Like the Spider-Man Homecoming, like to choose Vulture. And
it's brilliant.
It's a genius idea because he's totally different. And again, you understand his motives, like Killmonger.
The obvious one would have been Venom, wouldn't it? Really? So
yeah.
I suppose. But
Yeah.
barely.
See, Venom is the like opposite of Spider-Man, but he's such a big character with such a huge story.
He deserves more, doesn't he? Yeah.
You can never drop him in the first movie. It's
No,
too
you've
much.
got to bring him in gradually.
Because Venom's, you can't put Venom in a Spider-Man origin story because Venom's got to have his origin.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you need to build up to that and bring it in gradually. I think the thing with Black Panther, though, I think for some people there's so much more to it than the three of us will ever get out of it. We're not young girls seeing strong female characters in a superhero film who are just as cool, if not better, than the main character.
Yeah. I get that.
We're also not African descendants, so we don't have that side of it, and there's a lot of jokes and nods and cultural references in that film that we will never get.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I
that.
think for us, we can enjoy it or not enjoy it for what we take from it, but some of my mates have got so much more out of it.
Can I just answer me this one question? His dad's got a fucked up eye, hasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was like some weird like angle or CGI or something.
No. The actor's got a dodgy eye. Yeah.
Yeah, his eyes aren't parallel, are they?
No. It's got boss-eyedness. Is that what they call it in IT crowd? Boss-eyedness.
I can't remember.
They tried to make a calendar.
Yeah.
Anyway,
boss-eyedness.
Yeah.
I forgot why. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much as Thor. I thought Thor was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think Thor's more of just a fun romp of superhero-ness, though, isn't it? It's not as deep and like spy James Bondy as Black Panther went for.
Yeah.
It's a bit more serious in tone, isn't it?
Andy Serkis is pretty good, isn't it? Wasn't he?
He plays crazy good.
He does. I like Andy Serkis.
Yeah, more films with him in.
And
very few parts that I've seen him in, actually. I don't think I've ever seen him perform badly, to be honest.
No, Sex, Drugs and Rock and Roll was a masterpiece.
Is that what? That's bloody hell. What's the name of the band?
Ian Jury and the Blockheads.
That's the one. Yeah.
It's the Ian Jury movie.
I've still not seen that.
He's fan-fucking-tastic in that. And the tour he did with the band singing as him to get some of the shots is amazing.
Cool.
Like, proper good.
good. It's alright.
Yeah.
Probably go and see Avengers now.
Cool.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen this week, though, I don't think.
You need to fit it in when you can before
mate.
somebody ends up ruining it for you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks' time, you'll be one of 4 people in the country that haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't... It might be able to squeeze in there on Friday, but... Don't know.
Try to.
The only other thing I've done, because I've been just fitting my bathroom all week, the only other thing I've consumed are 2 audiobooks.
Okay.
Ooh, what?
One's... Well, they're both by the same author. They're both in the same series. And
Stephen King.
No, Stephen Baxter. And the first one's called Flood, and the second one's called Ark.
Okay.
About 25 hours in total.
Bloody hell.
But when you're doing like 14-hour days, just tiling and stuff,
Flood and Ark.
yeah. So
That's
What are they about?
interesting. Okay. Not
So-
retelling of Noah.
no. Right. First off, let's get this bit out of the way. You know, I always say like a good book's made better by a really good audiobook.
Yeah.
These are good books with bad audiobooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The person is doing voice acting
Right.
for each character, and some of the characters are painful to listen to.
Right.
So it's
Some
not
of
like
the
Stephen
accent-
Fry doing it.
So, no, some of the accents are painful to listen to as well.
Right.
Okay.
You know, like the guy in the Martian system can do an Indian accent, and it doesn't even sound in the slightest bit racist. It sounds brilliant. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like that at all.
Cool. Okay.
But the premise is of flood. The world's oceans have started just filling up with more water.
From out of nowhere.
What do you mean, just filling
No,
it with
somebody
more
left a
water?
tap
out
on.
of the Earth. So they find out that it's out of the Earth's crust.
Ah.
These trapped subterranean seas within the Earth's crust.
Is that what the mountains are? They're just full up with water.
And what's great about it is it's post-apocalyptic tale.
Right.
And I always say the best bits are like when shit's going wrong. I like the collapse of society.
Sure.
That's what I said about Quiet Place.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a prequel because I'd like to see everybody dying.
It was mentioned in the news last week. Did you hear it? Last week's
No.
podcast by any
I was
chance?
listening to these audiobooks.
Listen to our podcast, Ross.
Well, I'm on it most of the time.
When you're not.
You should still listen to it so you can review yourself. But yeah, Quiet Place Part 2
Yeah.
might well be focusing on other survivors.
Yeah, cool.
So, yes.
And yeah, but it's very gradual. So society collapses. It goes over many, many years and jumps forward and jumps back and stuff. And it does this brilliant. So the world's filling up with water at like 2 meters a year.
Okay.
So very early on, after sort of the first 5 years, it's really starting to affect cities like London and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you get right to the end of the book, and people are holed up in the mountain ranges in the middle of North America.
So because it starts affecting the rich people quickly, the story, I imagine, stuff starts to happen quite quickly.
Yeah, but the clever rich people are the people that are slowly transferring their wealth into physical assets.
Yeah.
And there's one of the characters is like a dickish Elon Musk kind of character who's trying to come up with a way of surviving because
Cool.
they just don't see an end to it. But then they do cool thing in the book. Some of the chapters just zip off to somewhere else. You know, like World War Z. Have any of you read World War Z?
I have, yeah.
You know how World War Z, every chapter's just somebody else's
yeah.
story
Different
of World
notes
War
about
Z.
interviews, isn't it, with different people?
There are chapters like that. They're like, and the world, instead of, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, the world goes to shit in a handbag in about 3 seconds, doesn't it?
Yep.
And that's what's so punchy and powerful about that opening sequence is all hell breaks loose in no time at all. This is just a slow, gradual, methodical collapse of society, but people can see the inevitability of it, so people have time to form factions online and do crazy things. Like there's a chapter about nutty evangelical Christians go to Israel to blow up the mosque on top of the old Jewish temple in
Right.
Jerusalem.
Okay.
Because they're convinced that they need to do that to make the end of the world happen.
Right.
And it's just there's beautiful bits in that like that in it. But people
Cool.
end up having to move, and then so many once 40% of the Earth's surface is 40% of the world's population gets displaced by 100-meter water rise.
Right.
So then everyone's fighting over the remaining land. And
Amazing.
the rich people are buying places in Peru and living up in the Andes and building ships ready to float, but at elevation and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then the second book, Arc, tells of the story where they...
That was in a movie, wasn't it? Where they built massive boats.
Yeah, 2012.
2012, that's right.
But
yeah.
2012, it happens too quick. Like, what's great about this book compared to 2012 is just the gradual inevitability of it. It doesn't need to be a roller coaster ride over 2 hours in a movie.
It sounds more like the 2000 AD comic, all about the water levels rising, and like the first series of comics they did about it, or comics sections in 2000 AD they did about it, was about the slow build of water and the collapse of governments and stuff. The second lot was the survival of people as the water levels got higher, and then the third part, which came years later, was like when the water levels had risen, and it was about how people were surviving and stuff. And yeah, it was slow and gradual. It sounds like it's got a similar sort of pace to that. Sounds good. Who is it?
Stephen Baxter. The first book's called Flood, the second book's called Arc, and there's a third book which is a collection of tales from after the end of Arc.
Awesome.
So, you say only some of the chapters are like interview based?
Yeah. No, it's anecdotal.
Anecdotal,
Yeah.
right. So, are these characters that you've met before through the story?
Yeah, that like that example I gave about the Zionists going nuts.
Yeah.
That's just like a break in the story for a chapter.
Right.
But then it flips between various characters.
So it's almost like the Lord of the Rings thing, where there's random chapters in Lord of the Rings that are about characters just within the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, there's multiple characters in it, multiple story arcs in it, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I felt my podcasts were getting in the way of me listening to it.
Right.
But I have a very tight podcast schedule. I have to listen to them.
It should include us.
Otherwise, I'll get to the end of the week and run out of podcasts.
My podcast listening doesn't have a schedule anymore. I've listened to so many, I just pick and choose and
My podcast
stick them
schedule
in when I can.
goes something like record a podcast with you two, edit a podcast with you two, listen to a podcast with you two. Week number 2. Record a podcast with you two.
Yeah. You've got a child to deal with as well.
Yeah, this is true.
It's a bit different.
So I've only got like literally 3 or 4 podcasts that I listen to outside of ours, because I have to listen
But
to
now
every
I'm
single one
I'm
that we record.
I'm doing that thing where I'm backed
twice.
up. I'm doing that thing where I'm backed up with podcasts as well because they're talking about Avengers.
Yeah.
That happens as well.
Yeah, it was quite
Yeah.
difficult to stay away from like all my usual YouTube channels and everything for a couple of weeks.
The podcasts I listen to, the only ones that ever really talk about that, I was able to just go, they always have it in the title, so I was just able to just go, ignore that, or they start the podcast and they say whether they're going to spoil it or not, so I can just kind of leave it and go back to it after. So yeah,
It's quite good training for the summer though, because we can't go and see all of these movies.
no.
So there's a hell of a lot of them, aren't there? So, yeah.
Are there?
Yeah, hell of a lot of summer blockbusters this year, yeah.
What after Han Solo and Deadpool was worth going and seeing?
Do you want me to find you a list?
No, just do a couple off the top of your head.
Incredibles 2,
Yeah.
Jurassic World.
Yeah, probably won't see either of those at the cinema.
I'll watch Incredibles at cinema because it's the only Fantastic Four film to come out that's worth watching.
Hereditary,
Never heard of it.
Ocean's 8.
Don't care.
Oh, yeah. Sicario 2,
Ant-Man and the
Probably won't
Wasp.
see it at the cinema.
Ant-Man and the Wasps, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
When's Ant-Man come out then?
That's in July, isn't it?
That's mental.
July
Are they,
6th.
are they having a winter movie as well, Marvel?
No, not this year.
No, they'll just move on to Phase 4 next year, starting with Spider-Man in February,
No.
March?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
then
February,
in
March.
then Avengers, then Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have nothing to do all year because they've got no Star Wars coming out this year as well.
No. But that's all right. They got Incredibles 2.
Literally,
and
the
other
marketing
stuff to keep
department
everyone
at
going.
Disney are going to have the year off from August, aren't they?
Yeah. Or they'll be brought back in. They've had some time off now, and they'll be coming back in for craziness at the end of summer to get ready for everything. coming
Mission
out
Impossible,
next
there's
year.
another one.
Yeah, Mission Impossible, Skyscraper, Mamma Mia.
Ugh.
There's
What have you been
so not
consuming,
loads,
though?
Well, it's quite a lot of films. I mean, there's probably enough there for you to go to the cinema at least 2 or 3 times a month
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to, and be able to see something decent. Whereas I don't really get that opportunity, so I might be able to go once a month.
Yep.
I go 4 or 5 times a year.
Right.
But you've both seen Avengers, so your point is valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, what have I been consuming?
Yeah.
I've been continuing to watch Westworld season 2.
Oh, I still haven't watched any of it yet.
None of it.
No.
My God,
no.
get on board. Episode number 3.
The problem is the people I watched the first series with, I can't meet up with them on the night that we used to watch it.
Just fuck other people. You know, just
Yeah,
screw
but
other
it's
people,
one of
Adam.
those shows that I enjoy watching with other people. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's certain shows where I can't watch on my own. I have to be watching with other people to enjoy it.
I watched the entire first season with the other half, so...
Yeah,
it's quite handy.
I used to watch the other show with like 3 or 4 mates, and because of everyone's schedules now, we don't fit in at the same time to watch it.
We've just parked
So-
them both. That and Handmaid's Tale.
You've just what, sorry?
Parked them.
Park them, you're just going to wait until they're all out.
And then we'll watch them in one chunk, and then we'll finish Parks and Rec.
Well, there was the thing, people were saying about episode 1 being a bit slow and being about the setup, and then episode 2 being the best episode ever. My God, episode 3 has blown them both out of the water.
Really?
And the same goes for The Handmaid's Tale season 2 as well. Episode 3 of that was just the most enthralling television
I'm
I've
more
ever
excited for
seen.
Handmaid's Tale than Westworld.
Right, okay. Man, it's so dark and it's so good. I'm just absolutely thrilled. Yeah.
Right.
Really, really good TV. If anyone out there has not seen either of these shows yet, honestly, just drop everything else. It's all unimportant by
Ironically,
standard.
the bad lady is pregnant in real life.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Ah,
Fun
interesting.
fact. Pointless inane fact.
Well, there you go. So yeah, they're both bloody good. And Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yeah, go on.
Interestingly. Now, I didn't really know what to expect going into this movie, other than I was prepared to be disappointed, really. And I had a surprisingly good time.
But is that because your
Bish, bash, bosh.
expectations were so low?
My expectations were low, yes, you're right. And that could well be why. If I went in thinking this is going to be the best film of all time, I would have been let down. But if you can just kind of forgive it, just the Asianness of it all, if you like. It's all very kind of...
What does that
Casually
mean?
a little bit racist again.
Is it?
What do you mean the Asian?
It's like it's all about like the big robots and stuff, and like the characters are totally enamoured by the big robots. So the culture has moved on past the kaiju and the kaiju invasion, and now the Pacific Rim robots. What are they called? They've got a name, Jaegers.
Yeah.
So the Jaegers they're the world's like security force. They're the army, and
So they're like they've become celebrities in themselves.
they
sort of
have,
thing.
and
Right.
people become cadets to go and work with like the security force. And like when they join up, they're walking past a load of Jaegers going, oh, look at that one. That one's called this, and it's the fastest one in the fleet, and I know this about it and that. And yeah, it's all celebrity revolving around the Jaegers themselves.
Right.
So that in itself makes it very Asian. You know what I mean?
As in like Gundam style Asian, as in like it's all about the robots over the characters.
It's emotional
to a point.
content that you
Yeah.
might not have in a Western
yeah.
movie, you know?
Yeah.
And the same is there with some of the characterizations of the people as well. Like long, drawn-out emotional moments and stuff.
Because I've been told that it's better than the first one.
I enjoyed
by some
it.
People.
You know what? I think because of the first movie, I really like the first film. I really
Right.
do.
It's Thingy from It's Always Sunny, isn't it?
Yes, he is. And he's got a very good part in it. He's really, really good. But yeah, because of the fact I like the first one so much, I think that gave me grounding for enjoying myself as well. Yeah, it suffers in its ending a little bit, but I think it kind of sets itself up for a sequel.
Right.
The ending reminded me of a movie. Do you remember? Have you seen a movie called Skyline, by chance?
Yeah.
So the alien invasion movie,
Yeah.
where it's all kicking off at the end, and then the guy's brain gets kind of chopped out of his. So, have you seen it, Ross?
No. I've
So
heard it's terrible.
It
is terrible.
It's really good until
What,
the last 10 minutes.
I wouldn't have said that.
It's a great alien invasion movie, and then the last 10 minutes it just goes absolutely bonkers and turns into a big pile of shit. So basically there's a guy who's been protecting his girlfriend all the way through the movie, and then
His hair always looks perfect and has perfect skin, and
it's
his
a very
clothes never
beautiful
look-
people
yeah.
film, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
It's a very average Hollywood beautiful people invasion film.
yeah. But the creature design and
Yeah.
the spaceships and stuff
Yeah, yeah.
are cool. Like, the
They are
actual
cool.
invasion aspect of it is
Yeah, yeah.
wicked. I really like it. But yeah, the trouble is, this guy that's been looking after his girlfriend all the way through the movie, the aliens chop his brain out of his head and stick it into a robot. And for some reason, that robot is then got all of his memories and everything. So
Yeah.
he starts using that to kick ass. But you don't see any of that. It's all presented in stills during the end credits, which is just weird.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
It's weird anyway. They could have made a sequel. Perhaps that was the intention. I don't know.
Well,
But
I think the idea is that actually
there is a sequel.
there is something going on in his brain with his emotions, and when they put it in the robot, it goes haywire and doesn't react how the aliens expect it to. So that's how he ends up.
Or is it all a dream?
Yeah, there is that other idea as well, but it's all a load of shit, really.
So it's got kind of some similarities to Skyline in some way, shape, or form,
You're not making
which
me
I
want to watch
won't
it.
divulge any more about because it's a bit spoilery. But yeah, I reckon if you enjoyed the first one and you like stuff with big robots in it and you like a bit of manga or anime, then
Check it out.
I think go and watch it.
Oh,
it was
okay.
a fun time, and there are some decent copies out there if you know what I mean.
VHS.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else you need to know about it?
No, I'm completely put off of it. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't be put off.
I didn't like the first one, and you've said if you like the first one, and then you've compared it to Skyline, which I thought was awful.
There's only certain
But it's
aspects.
better than all the Transformers movies put
Yes.
together.
Yeah, hands
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
That's not difficult, though.
No, they're bad. We haven't
Exactly.
fucking bashed Michael Bay for ages, have we?
The robot action sequences are fucking awesome. Really, really good. And
Cool.
yeah, some of the creatures designed for the...
Do you know what? My favourite thing
guys
to do with
are
the
good.
first one is to just watch the supercut of the robot fights.
Yeah.
With the kaiju on YouTube, and just skip all of the emotional, badly acted, badly told story in between from the first one. And all the bits of two people stood inside a robot trying to do all that nonsense. Just watch the bits of them fighting, and it's great.
There's a
It's-
small...
do you know-
Go on.
Do
Go on.
you know what this conversation and that little model up there's made me realise?
What, my Gundam?
Is just how forgettable Ready Player One is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot that is even a film I've seen this year.
Poor old Ready Player One.
Not poor
It's a
old
shame, isn't it?
Ready Player One. It's just a
It's
bad
a real shame.
film.
Of course, poor old Ready Player One. It's a real shame.
The
'cause
book still exists, and it's
Yeah.
great. It's just a shame they couldn't
It
do a
deserved
good
a
job
better-
with a film. Yeah,
it deserved a better... Yeah.
director.
Well, it's not all his fault.
No, but it's quite a lot of his fault.
Well, it was co-written by the author, wasn't it?
Yeah. He
So-
probably didn't have a lot of choice, though, on what was put in and what wasn't.
Well,
Anything else, Christopher?
Yeah, have you watched anything else?
yes. I've
Ooh.
been listening to an audiobook
Ooh.
of Stephen King or Richard... What's it? Bachman?
Bachman.
The Long Walk.
Richard Bachman?
Yeah.
Richard Bachman.
Batman.
Bachman.
Anyway, yeah, The Long Walk.
I'm Bachman.
The Long Walk. I found a copy
Cool.
Yep.
on YouTube.
Cool.
It's been split into two, so it's still, even though it's a short story for him, it's still 8 hours.
yeah.
Of course it is.
Amazing.
And it's one guy narrating and doing voices for all the characters. And it's very interesting. I don't really know what to think about it so far.
It's fucking brilliant. That's what it is.
It's certainly an interesting concept for a book.
Do you mean the audio book? You're like, it's interesting. as
No,
in
I mean the actual
voice?
story itself.
Oh, okay. Right.
Because it's, like I said before, like when I said, when you said it was like a post-apocalyptic future where people have to do something and
It's like a neo-conservative fascist future, isn't it?
yeah, and they'll get killed in while they're doing this thing. I thought, well, it's like the Running Man, but they're not running. It's
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the Walking Man. But there's no kind of like big game show of it all or anything like that, is there? So all the people have like put themselves forward and things, and you're just trying to work out why. And I guess that's going to all come out as the story progresses. And it's very like cutthroat, as in like the army are following the group of walkers along. Basically, I can't tell you why they put themselves in for this thing, but there's 100 of them, and they're all walking. It's like 500 miles or something, is it?
No, it's just you just keep walking.
You just keep walking.
But there have been long walks of varying lengths.
Oh, it's perhaps they just got to a 500-mile marker or something like that. But yeah, so you have to keep up the pace, otherwise the army shoot you. Simple as that.
Yeah. I've looked into this one since you talked about it, Ross, because it's not one that I've read, and it sounds really good.
The audiobook is available on my website if you want to go and check it out, chrisqthings.co.uk. That's in the audiobook section with the other audiobooks that I've been listening to recently.
Right.
I'm going to keep adding audiobooks and stuff to that section and stuff.
So it's just a list of links and stuff? Or?
It's, basically.
Cool.
Our podcast is being hosted on that website as well, if you want to listen to just the snooze button episodes are on there for now.
Cool.
So I thought anyone that's going to look at my music will also find our podcast and vice versa. That's the idea. Cross promotion, man.
Yeah, it's always worth doing.
Absolutely.
You look confused, Ross.
No, I'm just thinking about the other Bachman books. They're probably all worth listening to.
Yeah.
What other ones are there? Oh,
There's
the Running Man as well.
There's one about a kid going nuts in a classroom. I think he shoots his teacher, and then it's a big hostage situation. That's pretty good as well.
Because some of the really big films that were made were actually Bachman ones originally, weren't they? And then he's republished them as Stephen King over the years.
Shawshank and Green Mile.
Shawshank and Green Mile were originally Bachman, but he republished them as.
Although the Green
King.
Mile's a fucking huge book, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a tome.
I thought it was a novella, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah,
I think it started out as one. But
how come the film's 5 hours long then?
I think
same with Shawshank.
Yeah, Shawshank's a novella.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like a novella.
Yeah. So do I.
Quick, snappy reads, you know. Right, is there anything else we want to chuck into this podcast? Or should we go and have dinner?
I think we should go and have dinner.
Oh, yeah, Rage is the one about the school shooting.
Rage.
And Roadwork. I don't think I've read Roadwork.
Oh, and Thinner. That was originally a Bachman book. But I read it. The copy I had on holiday a long time ago was just, it said Stephen King on the front cover.
Yeah, I think there was a point where we had to print stuff under Bachman because of the situation with his publishers.
Yeah, they would only allow him to release a certain amount, and then he was just writing too much.
After a while, that changed, and then he just went sod it and republished a load of them when he got the rights back under Stephen King rather than Bachman. So he's done all right. Selling some of them twice.
Yeah, they're all published as individual volumes now, under the name Stephen King.
Netflix have just picked up another Stephen King book. In actual fact, it's one that him and his son wrote called, I think it's called In the Long Grass or something like that. Obviously horror, about a couple that, they're siblings. They park up while they're on a trip across America. And they park up and find they're opposite like a big field of long grass, and they hear like screams coming from the grass and somebody's shouting for help, and they go in, and obviously horror ensues.
Ooh.
And
giant crickets. Yeah, I think other people should write us in some reviews sometimes if they've got any.
Send us a review for something.
Yeah. What's your favourite movie? What's your favourite Stephen King book?
I'm sure if they could send it in audio form, you could drop it into the review with the crew thing if we've got enough time, maybe.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Give it a try.
And the show is ever changing.
Yeah.
Send us an idea. stillwiththecrew@gmail.com. Tweet at us. Find us on Facebook. Anywhere where there are comments below and stuff. Yeah. Chuck one in. And honourable mentions for Libsyn and Stitcher.
They've been publishing Stephen King since he was Richard Bachman.
I think one of them does Bachman and the other one does King.
Quite possibly.
Who knows?
I can never work it out, though. There's too many.
So, yes. Right. Thanks for listening, folks. We will catch you next time. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Adios.
Imagine doing so much cocaine that you end up writing so many novels you have to publish them under a different name.
And you can't remember half of them.
Because you've just done so much cocaine. I haven't slept for 4 weeks, but I've written 17 books.
And some of them are 3,500 pages
You know
long.
Gus Marenghi's Dark Place is like a take on, like, one of the things he says is, yes, I'm famous because I've written more books than I've read. It's like a Mickey take out of
That's
brilliant.
Yeah, that's like
Stephen King, isn't it?
the guy who created Scientology. He's written more books than Stephen
He's written
King
more
has.
fiction than anybody, hasn't he?
Yeah, by hundreds.
Do you think Stephen King reads other people's books?
He doesn't have the time.
I suppose he must have done at some point, though.
Yeah, like Dr. Zeus when he was a child.